Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and I am here tonight. It is 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. This is May 31st, 2023. And that's important for a few reasons. Number one, it's the last day of May, which I'm going to tell you, I felt this month. Normally, I say, where did the month go? Well, I felt every single day of this month, and it was equal parts thrilling with the catalog launch, and then very, very much of a struggle personally with May. But hopefully, I have some good news, and yeah, we're gonna close out the month. I know I haven't been able to do my regular live schedule. I'm hoping to get back on track soon. I appreciate your patience during the summer. So I'll be talking more about that soon, but we have so many updates. I've actually written things down to go over with you, and then we'll make a card together. At least that is my hope. I'm hoping that I don't have to end the live early, but we'll see how the boys do out and about, or if they get home early. We'll just see how it goes. So welcome. As you guys are coming on, whether you're watching live or in the replay, be sure to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. June is going to be awesome, first of all. So we're heading into summer crafting months, but I'm about to talk about a subject that I think is a love-hate subject, just depending on where you fall, and that is Christmas in July. So why am I talking about that on May 31st? I'm going to tell you, but let's go through updates first. Let me just pop up a few banners. So the first one is, this is my blog, stampingwithheart.blogspot.com. If you need to find out more information, anything like that. If you ever want to reach out to me, you can email me at stampingwithheart@gmail.com. And then, of course, I have already said my name, but I will pop it up here. I will have a new host code starting tomorrow. I accidentally closed out the host code this morning, thinking that it was actually June. So I was ready to say goodbye to May, but a lot of good things happened in May too. So everybody who either signed up for May Club, May in Color Club, which was Moody Mauve, or my paper share, should receive your packages. You should all have them at this point. So that should all be said and done. And today is the last day. Let me put this down. Sorry. I'll talk about that in a minute. But today is the last day to sign up for June in Color Club, which is Pebbled Path. So great signups for June. And I'm really excited. And the featured bundle for the class that's included with Club in June is going to be Gone Fishing. So, and that is part of the Let's Go Fishing suite. But I always do like a featured bundle. So May was Cheerful Daisies, and now June is going to be Gone Fishing. And then next month, I'm pretty sure is going to be Boho Blue, if I have my list right. So anyway, I'll have more information out about that going towards the end of June. But for now, if you're interested in the In Color Club, you can email me, you can direct message me. You just have to make sure that you're signed up for tonight, because I'm closing registration, and then I'm placing the order for the products tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions on that, let me know. I'm seeing some comments, so I'm just going to pop these up really quick. Hello, Teresa. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Roberta. Roberta said she just ordered the Let's Go Fishing suite. It's awesome. Kathy says, almost missed you, forgot you are an hour ahead of me. Oh, I'm glad you could catch me. This is an impromptu live. I don't normally go live on Wednesdays, but I negotiated and was able to get some temporary childcare so that I could go live tonight. So I'm hoping that everything goes smoothly. I hope, fingers crossed. So I did pre-record a video of making a couple of cards for you guys, but I've run into some editing issues. One of the videos does not want to upload properly, so I may just have to post it without that. I'm trying to salvage it. So I'm going to show you those cards, but that's going to be a pre-recorded video that we'll post. That's going to be different from the card that we're going to make on the live tonight. I'm going to do, I think, a fairly simple card. It's a Slimline with the Lay Shops Designer Series paper, because we have a Designer Series paper sale starting tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that too. Hi, Joan. How are you? So there's a lot going on, and I'm going to go over my list just really quickly, and then I will go down to my very messy table. I didn't actually have a finished card for tonight's project to put in the email preview, and I apologize about that. It's just the way that things have been this month. But like I said, I'm really, really hoping that we can get back on track. I do think that we have an update in terms of the situation and everything that's been happening with Connor. I'm afraid to talk about it right now. So if everything goes the way that we hope it will, then we might have some progress happening in the middle of June. So I'll keep you guys posted, but right now it's really, really intense. Okay. So we have a Designer Series paper sale starting tomorrow, June 1st, and it's going to run through June 30th. My advice on any type of a sale or anything like that is just not to wait if there's something that you really want, because we never know exactly what's going to go. But I'll pay attention to the inventory status report. We have a starter kit deal happening in June, actually. So I can talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, or put a post up about that tomorrow. If you guys want to know more about it, direct message me, email me. I'd be happy to send you the information. If I'm correct, and Roberta, if you're still here, maybe you can help me with this. I think it is the deal is going to be $155 worth of product for $99. And then, of course, you would pay your tax on that, but there's no shipping. So shipping is always free on the starter kit. So Joan is saying hello from Washington. Kathy says, hoping everything goes well for Connor. Me too. Me too. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Roberta. She's saying praying all goes well with Connor. Me too. This kid, he deserves a break. He just deserves to learn what it's like to be happy at school. And she says, yes, that's correct. You have typed 156, but I think it's 155 for 99. Yeah. So that's a great deal. And I don't have the math on the savings on that. I think it's a $56 savings, right? Is that right? But anyway, regardless, we have a starter kit special happening tomorrow. The other thing that's happening tomorrow is online exclusives. So this is something new that Stampin' Up! Is doing. They did one round of online exclusives already. And tomorrow starts pre-order for demonstrators. So if you get that starter kit in June, so if you sign up for that starter kit special, right away, you get to enjoy the perk of putting pre-order items in your cart. So you could actually get online exclusive pre-order items as part of your starter kit special, which is awesome, especially if you love Christmas in July. So for those of you who do, hang with me. But there is an online exclusive that is Christmas themed. Now it will be available to customers starting July 6th. But if you are a demonstrator, you can pre-order the product tomorrow. It's only a certain number of items that we can order. We don't get access to everything that they're launching as an online exclusive. We just get a look at a few things. And then we have the choice of pre-ordering those if we want to. And then when they release everything to customers, then that all becomes available on July 6th. But the teaser for online exclusives is amazing. It caught my eye right away. I love Christmas in July, and I was like in despair about doing a Christmas in July class. So I was so thrilled to see the suite that they're going to have. And I'll be showing that to you when I get it and all that lovely stuff. But I just wanted to give it a shout out. So I know we're not even in June yet. It starts tomorrow. But for us, we always craft ahead of these things. So it's a great time to join. The pre-order starts tomorrow. Really exciting things. The last the last set of online exclusives were so wildly popular. And I think that we're going to see that again with this one. But of course, we never know. Okay, so the last update before we can go ahead and craft. And she says, yeah, it's 56. Thank you, Roberta. You're the best. Kathy says, I'm ordering that Christmas set tomorrow. Me too. You know I am. So I will be ordering that. I cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. So I was so excited to see it. It's a thrill. All right. So the other thing is paper pumpkin. All right. So this is this little cutie here. So this is the add-on for the June paper pumpkin kit. So for the Teresa says me too. See, we're going to have fun. I'm telling you, it's going to be an awesome June. I can already tell. I'm so excited. I'm in the process of designing the club cards for June right now. And then it's going to be Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. We'll be having a class on that. I'll tell you guys more later. But I'm so thrilled to hear that you guys are getting it too. This is what I mean about getting in on the pre-order. That's why it's worth it. Okay, so these are called the Welcome In dies. All right, and then here is the item number on that. It is 163192. And I think I have, let me see if I can pop this up. Yeah. Let's see. Hang on, my throat is doing weird things. All right, so the Welcome In add-on dies, 163192. It's $6. You get 3 dies with this, and it will coordinate with the stamp set that's going to be in the June paper pumpkin kit. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So there are 3 dies. We have this vase die, and then we have a little leafy branch die, and then a flower outline die. So these are going to coordinate with that June paper pumpkin kit. The June paper pumpkin kit, which is also called Welcome In, is going to coordinate with a suite that we have in the catalog called Countryside Inn. So for those of you who are loving that and loving that theme, the June kit is going to coordinate. So you'll be able to match back to it if you want. But of course, paper pumpkin kits are all inclusive, meaning everything that you need to make in that particular box is in the box. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. The deadline to sign up for paper pumpkin is June 10th. And I'll post a link in the replay, but I have stuff linked all over the place on my blog everywhere. But just wanted to make sure you have that information. So these are actually still available right now. I was very, very surprised because last time they sold out so fast. All right. And then for those of you who were waiting for the refill for the May paper pumpkin kit, which I know was so popular, the refills are now available. So if you need to purchase the refills, you can do that too. All right. Holy goodness me, oh my. That was a lot of information, but you know what? We did it. We got through it all. Let me go back over here and see where we are with comments. I just miss you guys. I am so happy to be live tonight. You have no idea. I was really feeling completely off schedule. Like I said, this morning, I thought it was June and I was incorrect. So let's see. Roberta says, I bought those dies too, have not even opened them. I just opened them right now today. That was the first time I actually got to look at those. But I'm really excited for the June kit. So I just think all around June is going to be awesome. We have the designer series paper sale. We have the online exclusives pre-order. We have a starter kit special for those who want to jump in before we start getting into the second half of the year. And can we even believe that we're talking about this? The second half of the year is huge for card makers. So it's an ideal time to join. And then you can actually get more value in the starter kit in June. Paper pumpkin kit's going to be awesome in June. So club's going to be awesome in June. So we're going to have a really cool month. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. So let me go ahead and warning, my table's super messy, but I'll fix it. So let's switch over. It does look like a fishbowl. Kathy says the vase die reminds me of a small fishbowl. And you know what that means, Kathy? We're going to have to turn it into a fishbowl for an alternate card. You know we do. Okay. So let me show you. And I'm sorry. I'm recovering from a cold. So I'm going to try not to cough. I'm going to try my best. I have tea. I have cough drops. I should be able to get through it. So this is the card that I had started to make, the Slimline card I had started to make, but didn't quite get finished with. So we can work on that together. So this is from the Lay Shops DSP, which is going to be one of the designer series paper packs that's going to be on sale starting tomorrow. So let me just set this aside for a minute. I'm going to be using the Nested Essentials dies along with this card tonight if it goes the way that I want it to. And then I have the Let's Go Shopping bundle here to show you guys. We're going to be using this little lamppost die tonight on this card, which is just the cutest thing. So for those of you who haven't seen this yet, I haven't had a chance to really dive in much on this stamp set, but I'm going to be playing around with this week and hopefully getting back on track with craft projects. It's just been crazy. Okay, so we'll get into that in just a minute, but I just thought I would show you guys the cards that I pre-recorded the video for. So here, let me see if I can show you this. This is from a stamp set called, this is not the card we're making tonight, but let me just show these to you. So this is from a stamp set called Sweet and Precious. And like I said, this is a pre-recorded video. I'm still working on the editing on this. I'm hoping to salvage a piece of the video that I lost. But anyway, look at how incredible this stamp set is, how sweet this is. So beautiful, you guys. I was trying to do a play on color on this one. So this little baby, you know how the babies are usually like a slightly different color than the moms and the dads? So that's what I was going for in the original card. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a version where the baby matches mom. So you guys can let me know what you like better, but there's a few differences here. So I'm just going to shout out a couple of the products. And this is just to give you guys a feel for some of the new stuff that I've been trying to work with. So this is something called the Darling Details dies. You're going to be seeing a lot more of that from me. And then the sentiment and the stamping here is from Sweet and Precious. So two different things, but they came together really nicely. For those of you who like Lemon Lime Twist, you could use that color, but I had Parakeet Party on hand. So I used Parakeet Party, and I actually used the small blending brush to kind of fade in a little bit more of that green around the leaves. But then here on this one, I did not do that. So just very slight differences, but I thought I would show that to you because it's just very cool. You can see, I'm going to put this on the back. This Darling Details die has this like really cool edging on it. And I just love it, whether it's by itself or if it fits right into that piece that comes out here with this little eyelet design. It's so beautiful, you guys. So anyway, that's that card there. And then I did one, for those of you who don't like to color with Stampin' Blends, I did a version in black and white. And this is with the mom and the baby sloth. And I just thought that was really cute. And I just did a little pop of red, appreciating all you do. And then I also did one with the penguins. Where did I put that one? And the penguin is the footage that I lost. Okay. And I'm really annoyed about it. But that's the way it goes whenever you're, doing things like that. So my goal with the penguins, and let me see if I can point the light over here a little bit better. I think what I would do differently if I were to make this card again is I would have done this on Pebbled Path instead of black, so that there would have been a little more color difference between the penguins and the color. But this is actually heat embossed, like the penguins are heat embossed. And then I used our watercolor pencils to kind of get that white on the penguins and then kind of do that little cloudy outline. That's in basic gray. So this is just a different version. And then we have Tahitian Tide, but oh my gosh, this little baby is so cute. So I think I'm going to have a little redo on this if I have to refilm it. And I'll do this on a gray background instead of black. And then I'll do the black heat emboss. But anyway, aren't they cute? So I really love this set. I'll be using this more, but I just wanted to kind of show this to you. And then Teresa, you'll recognize this one. So we were crafting on Zoom together. We cased the catalog. So this was the card that sold both of us on this, the Let's Go Fishing Suite. Whoever designed this card in the catalog, it's pretty much cased. I think I changed like a few of the colors or whatever, but oh my gosh, it's just the best set. So anyway, this is just to give you guys a feel of what club cards are going to be like this month. It's just so cool. So anyway, absolutely thrilled. And this is what Pebble Path looks like, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with the color yet. So that was another card that I made that I haven't had a chance to like really kind of talk about and show. So I just thought I would show you some of those. And then we'll go ahead and we'll make our card tonight. So just wanted to point those out. Okay, and then I'll get a video up on that a little bit later. All right, so our card base for tonight is going to be Calypso Coral cardstock, because this is one of the coordinating colors with lace shops. And then let me put this off to the side. Oh, I do see some comments here. Great minds, Teresa. Oh, what do you guys have great minds about? I'll have to go back and read that later. Kathy says adorable giraffes. Thank you. Barb says I like the coloring. Yes, and I go through every single color that I used on the giraffes. I did get that footage is all okay. So I'll make a whole list and everything of the coloring that I did with the giraffes. I used the natural tone Stampin' Blends and Daffodil Delight mainly. And then I did a little bit of like an outline around them too. And Teresa says those are so pretty. Teresa says, I love the tackle box card. Me too. It is so much fun. That's sweet. So, okay. Let's go ahead and work with this card. So here is what I ended up doing. Let me just remove these pieces here. We kind of have to do a modified card where it's kind of half made because we are short on time right now. But like I said, hopefully we'll get back to it soon. So this is the designer series paper. I'm using two different patterns here. So this is the one that I'm using as my background pattern tonight. And then the opposite side is like the food theme, which we'll use for something on another day, but it makes me hungry even just looking at it. And then this is the piece of designer series paper that I fussy cut the stores out of. So you can decide which pattern you want because there's different ones that you can use in this paper, but I chose this one, and this one, and I just fussy cut them out along with two of the little vases here. I think that designer series paper pieces, if you are somebody who enjoys fussy cutting, it's just perfect. It's too good. You can basically cut it in straight lines and just do very, very little fussy cutting. There's really not a lot of, fuss involved in these. But this is the opposite side, just for those of you that are keeping track. So this is the last sheet that I had of this one, but I wanted to point that out. So they're already cut. Let me give you the measurements on this, and then we can go through the papers after if there's enough time. So what I ended up doing was I cut this piece of paper to 8 inches by 9 inches. And then I scored it at 4. So it ends up being a 4 by 9 slimline card size. And then here, this layering piece, let me just pull these out. And if you want to do just 2 stores and a typical A2 size card, you could do that, but you would have difficulty squeezing 3. You could probably do 2.5. Like on this designer series paper, you'll see, let me just show you here. These pieces, they cut off, so you could kind of do like a half of one on an A2 card, but you probably wouldn't be able to fit 3 full-size businesses on there. Okay, and so this piece is cut to 8 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then I'm just going to move this out of the way. All right, and then we're going to cut a couple of lampposts here, but let me just get my bone folder. It's over here. So what has everybody been up to? Have you guys been crafting, making any cards? Are you into the summer fun already? Still working your way into it? Let me know. All right, and then I'm going to grab one of my little blending brushes here. And then I was going to do Pebble Path, but I must have moved it. So I could do probably a little bit of Memento. I bet you that would work. All right, so we'll focus on that. And then we'll get our basic layout going. So this is just that little 1/4 inch frame all the way around our card. But let's get our mini thing out before we start doing all the fun stuff here. And we'll cut our pieces. So we have these 3 pieces that are already cut, these 3 stores. And then I also have my 2 little, and I'll probably lose these if I don't keep them here. These little vases that I just fussy cut out as well. I love the paper. It kind of does all of the work for us. And then they basically essentially turn into die cuts, really. And then I'm just going to get my little mini and I'm going to cut this. And then we're also going to cut that lamp post. So let me just get this right up here so that you guys can see it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay. So with the Let's Go Shopping dies, which are so adorable, I'm going to be focusing just on the lamp post. But this is obviously a builder set, and hopefully I'll be able to show this to you in more detail soon. So we have these little mini windows, mini lamps. There's like this foliage, kind of like if you had ivy or something like that growing around your business. We have some plant life here. We have awning. Things that would cut out some of the stamped images. We have like a bench here, which is really cute. But like I said, I'm going to be doing just the lamppost for tonight. And then actually you could cut out the stamped version of the businesses and they're interchangeable with the stamps. And I'll show you that too. So what I mean by that is here, you can cut these out with the coordinating dies if you would want to, but you could put different things in the windows. So whether you wanted to do books or bakery, or if you wanted to do seating inside the window or even just outside, you have choices there. And then we have like the little lamps and the signage down here. And then you could coordinate cafe or books or bakery with your signage and then do your greeting. Okay, so let me go ahead and we're going to do a couple of lamp posts, maybe 2. Let's see. And then I'm also going to do my background layer for my nested dies right here. So let's put that down and cut. It's stuck on my hand here. Okay. Sorry, my plates are such a mess. All right, so here you can see how the lamp post turns out. Is that like the cutest die cut there? Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more of these just in case. So we'll just set these 2 aside and then let's cut just a couple more. Okay, sorry, you can't even like see through. I have to get new plates. There's lamp post number 2. I don't know how many we're going to use, but we'll cut 3 just in case. All right, and then let's just do 1 more. Just want to make sure that little middle lamp piece is out. Okay. All right, there is our 3rd lamp post. And then I also want to cut my smaller piece from the nested label dies in basic white. So let's go ahead and do that. Or did I say nested labels? Nested essentials. Nested essentials. All right, so we have that little piece there too. Hopefully that fits okay. I haven't really sized everything out, but we're about to find out. Okay, so I'm just going to set these over here. Let's put this down. Sorry, you guys. I'm probably going to have to take a cough drop, just super quick. And a sip of tea. Doing much better, but it's always so stubborn at the end. It just never wants to go away. Okay. So let's go ahead and get our layout together and see what we like. All right. So you can arrange your businesses however you like. What I wanted to do, and I like dimension on my card, so I was planning on using dimensionals for this, but I thought I would do the tallest one in the middle and then have these two on either side. So this is kind of what I was thinking in terms of the layout here. And then I thought I could do, maybe we'll do lampposts in the middle and we'll save this space for our sentiment. So we could do a lamppost here, a lamppost here, and then our little arrangements, our little potted plants at the bottom of our posts. So that's kind of like just a simple, easy layout. But what I did want to do was I wanted to put a little bit of shadow behind the businesses to sort of separate the background pattern from the business. So I thought what I would do is just take my my small blending brush and just do a little bit of shading behind where each of these is going to go. And I'm going to be subtle about it. I'm not going to go too crazy with it. But if I don't, if I don't like it, I could always recut the piece and redo it. And then we'll just put our sentiment right up here above this business. At least that was my plan. And you guys could do ribbon or whatever you want, but I'm probably just going to do a little pop of color in my lamps. So I was thinking about using the Wild Wheat from the In Color Dots, the 2023-2025 In Color Dots, just to give it a little bit of a glow in terms of a little bit of color in there. Okay, so what do we want to say with this? We could say good luck. We could say happy birthday, wish you were here. You are such a sweet treat, or good luck. So these are the ones that I think would fit nicely in here. I kind of want to say wish you were here. I think that that would be a good one. So let's see. All right. I'm just checking comments. I think we're all good. I think we're caught up. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of shading here. So bear with me. I'm going to get out a piece of scrap paper real quick and just make sure that I don't have this too dark. Okay. So I'm just going to see how dark that was, this little dab right here. So I'm just going to soften it up a little bit. And then I'm just going to remove this and just do a little bit of shadow here. And let's see how that looks. I have to go a little bit higher. This was a thought in my head. We'll see if it actually works out. And you could go all the way around the business too. But just something that adds like a little bit of shadow, just a little bit of shadow and depth. That's my plan. That's my thought there. So I actually really like the way that that looks. And then we're going to pop this up on dimensionals as well. So I'm just going to do the same thing for the other two businesses. With this one, I know that it's right up close to the top. So I'm actually going to put this off of here and behind the scrap paper. And we'll go right to the top here. Okay, just a little bit. And then same thing down here. So right about here-ish. Okay. Okay. And then I also need to stamp, and we could do this actually in color. So why don't we do Calypso Coral? And we will say, wish you were here. Love seeing brand new stamps. Oh my goodness. All right. Now this is a new stamp, so I'm just going to stamp this a couple times on scrap paper just to warm it up. And then we'll go ahead and stamp here. Let me just stand up for this part. Doesn't look very dark, does it? Okay, wish you were here. All right, so we're going to get our dimensionals and we'll start popping these up, and then we'll get our layer down here too. And we'll just build this scene here. My lamps are going to stay flat to the card. And I could probably move the scrap paper now, hopefully. All right, so let's put this one down first. And I would recommend cutting an insert for the inside of your card if you like doing the color card bases like I do. Calypso Coral isn't too dark of a color, but I still would recommend it. Okay. Looks pretty good, I think. And then let me just I'm going to grab a sheet of dimensionals here and we'll get building. Let's start with the center. I always feel like I can work my way out when it's a scene card. If you guys have the full sheets, like the full dimensional sheets, those would be ideal for these. Okay, so let's put that one down. Seems like it might be a little crooked-ish. My volume should be down on my phone, but I'm going to double check it just to make sure. Okay, there we go. And then let's do this one. I'm going to put 5 on this one too. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to get to the stamping yet, or maybe if you're working with your paper share, or if you did order just the full-size pack of designer series paper and you haven't used it yet, I think this could be a great way to make a bunch of, fun cards, slimlines. You could even do a thank you card with just one, like a single storefront on it. Or if you're going to be doing your stamping. Yeah, look at how close I put this over here as opposed to all this space being here. I wonder if I can fix that. Probably not. Let's try. I'm going to try. So ignore me about doing things in the middle first. Can this be salvaged? It can. Okay, cool. Okay, and so for these, what I ended up doing, and I know that not everybody loves these, but I'm going to use my adhesive dots. For my paper pumpkin kits, you could use whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to put a couple of dots on here. So let's do one at the top. And I'm going to do one at the bottom. And if you'd want to put like a dab of glue in that little middle piece there, you could do that too. I'm just going to do this and pop this down. Okay, same thing with the other one. Stuck to me, not surprisingly. But hey, at least we know they stick. Okay, let's put that one down. I don't think you have to get a perfect lineup because we're going to put the little pots in front of these anyway. Okay, so we'll put this one down. Straight, hopefully straight. Okay. And then for our pots, I'm going to use a mini. So sorry, you guys. We'll pop that right there. Same thing here. I'll tell you, these mini dimensionals are convenient, I have to say. I feel like I've been using them so much recently. Okay, so we have these two, and then let's put our little glow on these. I'm going to use the smallest dot. Just going to pop it right in the center here, or at least my best at the center. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do our piece here. I'm just going to put this down with regular glue, and then I'll pop this piece up on dimensionals. And we will be all set for this card, aside from an insert if you want to do an inside for your card. I'm going to just center it like over this bookshop. Okay. And then let's go ahead and get this piece going. In my mind, I was going to have a card in all three sizes, but I just couldn't make that happen. So maybe I could do it off screen. We'll see how we do with time. Okay. All right. So there is our card. Let me just throw these pieces away and I'll straighten this out. I'm so sorry it was crooked when I was assembling it there, but let's see if I can get that straightened out for you. Okay. All right, so there we have it. This is our first Les Shops card. So this is like my first kind of attempt at this particular suite I think it's so beautiful, and I think that there's so much character in it, and I think that there's a lot that we can do, you know, with it. Just really haven't had that much time to work with it yet, but we'll be working more with this one and some others too. So let me pop back over here, see if we have any new comments. Okay, so the shading makes a big difference. It does, doesn't it? It's just like, it basically, it gives it like dimension. So it just gives it a little something real. And that way, if you're dealing with a busy pattern, which is what we're dealing with here, which it looks like a pebbled path, doesn't it? Like a pebbled walk. Cobblestone road, I think is what I'm trying to say. If you were really shopping in a little sort of Norman Rockwell town like this, where everything looks so cute and so perfect, so you would naturally see that, like you would see the shadows and things. So I think that it does make a difference. I'm glad that you guys like that. And then let's see. Susie says, first time watching you live. Hello, Susie. Thank you so much for watching me live. Kathy says, I'm loving this card. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I'll get posts up and I will do all the things and try to get caught up on life, right? So pretty. You do great seeing cards. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, so I'm so glad that you guys like this one. I think that there's a lot more to come with this. If we have, it's still quiet out there, so I'm going to take a chance and show you guys this paper. Since we're having a designer series paper part, let me try that again. Since we're having a designer series paper sale in June, why don't we talk a little bit about paper? So again, this was the piece that I used on this particular card. That's the back side to this particular piece. So these three shops right here, if you need to do partial shops on an A2 size card, you can do that. Those are kind of a little on the edge there, but there are some other ones that you could get good sizing. I would pay attention to the size of the piece in terms of the length of your card, right? Whether you're going to do vertical or horizontal, but this is a completely different piece of paper. But look at all of the different shops that you can have there. It's just, it's such a, this is such a vibe, right? Everybody's saying that these days. Such a vibe. Then we have this fabulous pattern on the back. For those of you who are really having that blue moment, and I think Stampin' Up is having a blue moment based on the refresh, right? And the in colors. So this is like, I don't, just even looking at this makes me hungry. But this kind of is that bakery, bistro type feel here with the breads and the cupcakes and things. And then there's the other side that we used for this background, for this card. This is that same piece. This is that same piece. And here's some more. So just depending, you could do many different scene cards here, or use this for the inspiration when you actually stamp with your bundle. And then here's the other side of this. I love this pattern. I cannot wait to use this on something. So we'll be doing more of that. And then these are the minis. So when my eye looks at this, the first thing I want to do is cut it out into strips and use it as like a layering piece. It looks a little bit busy when you're looking at it, but when you see all the detail of all of the little mini businesses, it could be a cool background too, I think. This is fabulous. So I would do, oh my gosh, I just all of the backgrounds that you could do with this, I think are so cool. So this just reminds me of, what do they call those when they're designing and they do like plans? Oh gosh, Patty would know. This is more her jam, but I love the way that that looks. And we also have this really cool book pattern here. So like just a combination of flowers, paint, books, just depending on the hobby or maybe the theme that you're doing for people, but really, really pretty. Designer series paper. Here's the pattern on the other side. This pattern would have been spectacular with the giraffes. What did I do with them? Look. How great would that have been together? See what I mean? You just, the more you do and the further you go, you can kind of get those layering in those pieces kind of working for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be from all just one suite, but it sure is convenient, isn't it, when they design the whole set for you? Okay, so that's the Lay Shops Designer Series paper. I think that's all the pieces, hopefully. All right, so let me just go back to blueprints. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Teresa. Awesome. Oh, you guys, my brain, I'm telling you, May has been interesting, but we're still here. So let me see if I can go back. Let me put the card back in the center. I'll put the other cards down too, just so you guys can see them. I always have my hands in the screen. Somebody told me once, so let me just put down some little card samples for you. Put these here. This is just stuff that I've been working on that hasn't been published yet. So there we go. Let me see if I can sweep this over just a little bit more. And then I'll go back to my face just to say goodbye to everybody. But I'm a little bit sad to end my life because it's been so long. Okay. All right. Let me get my tea here. I'm nervous to leave my tea on the table. So let's see if I can do. Woo! I'm completely blown out. I wonder why. Is that worse or better? Is that better? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I have to do a couple of thank you shout outs for those of you. First of all, for all of you who are here watching live or in the replay, thank you. For all of you who signed up for Paper Share in Color Club, whether it was May or June or May and June, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me while I couldn't be live. I'm so happy you guys have been opening the emails and seeing the information, even though I couldn't be more present when we were kind of going through our little mini crisis there. But I think that has passed now. I'm hopeful that it has. So I just thank you so much for that. And for everybody who has been loving on the Paper Pumpkin for May and all of the videos that were posted for May, thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares. I've gotten more comments on those videos than I think I've gotten on anything else I've ever done. And it just goes to show you that everybody loved the May kit and the outdoors, nature themes and everything. So it's just been an absolutely incredible month. This catalog was so great, the annual catalog, and we're going to be working with it more. But I will tell you, we're going to be shifting a little bit to online exclusives and then a little bit of annual catalog. So we're going to be doing a little bit of both. So like I said, if you want to sign up for In Color Club, just make sure you sign up tonight. Pebbled Path is the color for June. And then I will close that tonight, right at midnight. And then I will place the order tomorrow and then just allow time for it to ship to me. I will start working on the kits, getting everything packed up. And then I will ship it out no later than June 30th. And if for whatever reason something should go on back order or there's something weird that happens, I'll let you know. But I've been checking the inventory status reports, and as far as I can see, everything in Pebbled Path is fine. So we should be good to go. So, and everything's okay with Gone Fishing too. So for those of you who, are either getting the bundle or you're following along, and doing additional cards in addition to the kit class, then you'll have that too. So anyway, just thank you. So happy I could be live tonight and say goodbye to May with all of you. And I think it's going to be an absolutely fabulous June. I mean, yeah, I'm so ready. So it's going to be good. Susie says, I recently found you and have been so inspired by you. You make beautiful cards. Thank you so much, Susie. That is so kind of you to say. I'm so happy that you found me and that you're able to be here live with me. That's so cool. Teresa says your alternates are so pretty. Yay for June. Yes. Thank you. And yes, it's going to be so awesome. I can't wait to show you guys the online exclusive pre-order stuff. So we'll be talking a lot more about all the things that are happening in June. But I just want to say I will get the new host code information posted tomorrow so that you guys can use that when you're shopping the Designer Series paper sale. I'll get an email out with that information so that you have it. I'll update the blog so that it's there for you. But happy shopping the sale tomorrow. For those of you who have been thinking about, signing up, joining, whether it's for the hobby discount where you can save that 20%, it's a great time to join for that. But again, you're going to get that additional savings on your starter kit, and there's free shipping on a starter kit. So $56 in savings on the kit, free shipping. That's a pretty awesome deal. It's a great time to join because going into the second half of the year, we're going to be focusing on all the, fall, holiday, all of that. And a lot of people start doing crafting in bulk with our classes and all of that. So that's coming, but we're still collecting our in colors and all that lovely stuff. So yeah, there's a lot happening. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you guys again soon. I'll post in if you're not on my email list, get signed up, because that's where I let people know first that I'm going live. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.